Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala nabina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Now we're going to continue a recap on wiping over the socks. I'm going to say a few statements, and then I want somebody to get up and tell me exactly what I said about wiping over the socks. It's going to let me know who is paying attention and who is not paying attention, and who acts stupid and who plays in joke. No more playing. Too many games. Too much screaming, hollering, game playing, repeating myself. I'm not playing no more. One act like a monkey, then everybody acts like a monkey. One gets beat, then everybody shuts up. It seems that what works with you guys. Once you get to a certain age, people shouldn't have to repeat things to you 5-10 times. Today we're talking about wiping over the socks. What did I say about wiping over the socks? One person. Stand up and talk.
You said wiping over the socks. Like, if you're a traveler, you could wipe. When you like a traveler, it could stay for 3 days.
No, from the beginning.
Wiping over the socks. When Muhammad.
No. Next. Sit down.
I'm gonna say you wipe over the top.
No. You wasn't here from the beginning. You missed.
The beginning.
Omar. Sit down. Omar, you already had your chance. Omar.
Yes.
What did I say?
In the beginning, you were saying you were asking everyone, what is their option? Like, what do they think? Is it 24 hours? Is it like a day? Is it like everyone was given? And then you started reading and you told us the right answer. You like the first thing he said about he was reading something. Then he said traveler 3 days. And he was like,
No.
He was talking
No.
about,
What breaks on your
No. You over there playing. What did I say?
Me?
Yeah, you over there playing, yes.
It takes a day.
No. No more questions. Everybody put their hands down. No more asking questions. Related to wiping over the socks. The first thing I mentioned to you is about you must enter your socks in the state of tahara. You must enter your socks in a state of purity. That's the first thing. Must be in wudu. You must be in tahara. Then I mentioned to you there's certain type of socks that you cannot wipe over. What type of socks you cannot wipe over? One person. Salim.
See-through.
The dress socks that are transparent, see-through, and what else? Ramadan?
cannot wipe socks that are not above your ankles.
That are not above your ankle, correct. The socks are not going to cover your ankles. You cannot use them. Those type of socks, like those sports socks people wear in the summertime because it's hot, you cannot wipe over those socks. They must be thick in a sense. They must be thick and they cannot be dress socks.
Like this?
No,
Those are socks are okay because they cover your past your ankles.
like this.
No socks you can pass over. No, those socks maybe you could wipe. I have to see them. But the dress socks are usually they're transparent. You can see through your feet.
I can see my shit.
Alright, that's it. No more talking. That's it. Next. Related to the socks, there's some scholars that say, there is opinion out there that some scholars hold, even if they're transparent, you could wipe over them. But I don't take that particular opinion. Alright? But there are some scholars that say you could wipe over any type of socks. There are some scholars say you could wipe over any type of socks. But the majority opinions I see that's correct, that they must be socks that are thick, meaning not transparent, not like those dress socks, and they must cover over your ankle. Cover the ankle. The ankle cannot be exposed. This is a view. Next, I mentioned about wiping the socks. We spoke about the condition, which is you must be in a state of tahara, which is clear. The next is a person who is at home may wipe for a day and a night, while the person who's on a journey may wipe over them for 3 days and 3 nights. I mentioned a narration where it says, one of the companions said, I went to Aisha anha and asked her about wiping over the cuffs. And she said, you should go to Ali ibn Abi Talib. And he asked him because he used to travel with the Messenger of Allah. So he asked him, and he said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam fixed a period of 3 days and 3 nights for a traveler, and 1 day and 1 night for the one who is at home. The hadith is authentic. So we know that for 3 days and 3 nights, for the traveler, he can able to wipe over the socks with the condition that he enters the socks in a state of tahara. And 1 night for the mukim. The mukim is the resident. 1 day and 1 night. That's 24 hours. And you have to enter the socks into what? You have to be in tahara, meaning when you make wudu, you have to wash your feet before you enter the socks. You cannot be in the state of breaking your wudu, not in a state of wudu, and put your socks on and wipe over them for each salat. This is not permissible. This is not wudu. Your wudu is not correct. This is why wiping over the socks is a very important thing to understand for the Muslim, because it's related to tahara. I said yesterday in the class, for those who was here, the Prophet ﷺ said, Al-Miftah al-Jannah as-Salah. The key to the Salah, the key to the Jannah is the Salah. Wa-Miftah as-Salah al-Tahara. And the key to the Salah is purification. Tahara. So tahara is very important for the Muslim. Wudu is something you're going to make every day. We already have many classes about wudu, what breaks wudu, what is this related to wudu, how to make wudu. We have demonstrations. Everybody in this room should know already how to make wudu. Now we're talking about something else. I mentioned before, when you learn anything in the religion related to wudu, related to salah, this is going to be a beginning stage of learning. For the one who doesn't know wudu, he learns how to perform the wudu. Once he learns how to perform the wudu, then he might learn a dua to say after. Then he might learn the ins and outs of wudu. What are the pillars of wudu? What is the sunnah of wudu? That's for the person on the next level, which we have another class later on, related to salah. Related to the salah. Sit over here. Related to the salah. Salah, the same thing. For a person who don't know how to pray salah, he learns what to say in salah. How many rakats at each salah. Once a person learns how to pray in the salah, then he learns after that the ins and outs of salah. What are the sunnahs of salah? What is the pillars of salah? What is the obligations of salah? What is the 4 things about salah? So when he makes a mistake in salah, he knows how to correct them. The same thing with wudu. And if someone looking at their cell phone, they're going to get hit. If your cell phone is out, you're going to get hit. Put it away. Put it away.
What's off? Don't worry.
You didn't see what happened a few minutes ago? Do you want it for yourself? The salat is no joke. Just like the wudu is no joke. It is something very serious for a Muslim. So wiping over the socks is very important, because there are some Muslims who don't understand wiping over their socks. There's 2 groups of Muslims. 2 types of extreme. One extreme related to the salah is making the wudu, the extreme of wiping over the socks. You have a group of Muslims who say they don't wipe over the socks unless they are leather socks. That is one group of Muslims that are extreme in their view. But they're coming from their opinion from a particular madhab. No questions. Do you have another group of people who's not following the opinion of no scholar or no madhab, and they don't know how to make wudu, and they don't understand what related to wiping over the socks. So they're very careless of how to wipe over the socks. They don't know. They will be in a state of They would be in a state of not being in tahara, and they would not make wudu, and they would put their socks on, and then they would wipe over their socks. This is another extreme. This is the ignorant point. The other extreme, when I said the person who said they don't make mas, this is coming from an opinion of their, from a scholarly opinion, which I don't agree with. But they coming from an opinion. Another extreme group is the ones who not coming from no opinion, from the religion. They don't know no opinion. They just do whatever come to their mind. So when they wipe over their socks, they don't know that there's certain conditions about wiping over the socks. So this is very important, because many of you guys here, when you make wudu, how many of you wipe over your socks? When you go in the Masha and you come for Salatul Jummah, you come for any Salat, you go in the Masha, there's some people who wipe over their socks. Because there will be many cases where you cannot wash your feet in the sink. If you go to school, if you go to work, and you have to make Salah, there's many cases you might not be able to take your feet off. Your shoes off. Or your socks off. So you need to understand about how to make Masha or Masha over your socks. You must understand that. And there's many cases for those people who don't believe in wiping over their socks. There's another opinion Muslims have. That many of them, they in a lot of trials and tribulation related to the salah in their job. I met a brother, grown man. He told me he don't pray at work. And he spent a lot of time at his job and it affects him. And I asked him a very simple question. Why don't you pray at work? He says because he takes a certain view of the Hanafis from Bangladesh and Pakistan who believe you should only wipe over leather socks. So he will go to work and he say he cannot pray because he cannot wash his feet in the sink in his job. I say you abandon the salah. You abandon salah because of a weak opinion from a school of thought you're following. You abandon the salah praying, so he missing his job 3 salah in his job. And the job doesn't forbid him from praying. But he stopped praying in his job because he cannot put his feet in the sink and wash. I said, why you don't go to work? When you go to work, you go to your foot and instead of tahara and you wipe over your sock. He said, I'm from Bangladesh. They said in Bangladesh you only wipe over the leather sock. I said, this will benefit you that. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى فاسأل أخر ذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون. Allah says, ask the people with knowledge if you don't know. He didn't say, ask only the scholars in Bangladesh who only follow one particular view. For 3 months, 4 months, not making salah in his job.
He only made it a house.
So the Muslim must understand how to wipe over his socks. And it's not restricted to leather socks. Because in this brother's case, because he didn't go search another opinion. Because he didn't have knowledge of the religion. Because he didn't understand this chapter we're explaining today. He wasn't praying his salah for many months in his job. And abandoning the salah in Islam is kufr. Abandoning the salah is kufr. And so every day delay all your salah till you get home, this is incorrect. Because salah must be prayed in his time frame. The salah must be prayed in its time frame. And if you don't pray your salah in the time frame, you only have a illah. There's only certain reasons why you could do that. Either or you're traveling, either or you're very busy, and you can only do this a few times, combine the salah or pray at a later time. That's if you're busy, but this can't be an everyday thing. So I can't be 3 months in my job, no questions. No one raised their hand. You cannot be 3 months in my job, or 3 months in going to school, 6 months in going to school, while all the salahs are collecting up, and he's not praying, and you're not praying because you don't want to wipe over your cotton socks or wipe over your shoes.
No question.
He said no question.
So you must understand this. So the condition is what? You enter to your socks being in a state of purity. First thing. That it lasts for what? For the one who's muqim, the one who's a resident, 1 day and 1 night. For the one who's traveling, 3 days and 3 nights. And I mentioned you wipe on top of your socks, not the bottom. And about the hadith of Ali radiallahu anhu, he said, if you follow our opinion, our aql, our brain, it would tell us to what? Wipe the bottom of the socks. But he said, I saw The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he wiped over the top of his socks. So we understand when you wipe over the socks, it's the top. Then we have to take it back one back step. For the one who is traveling, and for the one who is muqim, the one who is a resident, when do you start and when does it finish? One day and one night for the one who is the resident. How does it start? For the one, there's two opinions. For the one who is muqim or the traveler, there's two opinions. If it's war time and I wash my socks, I wash my feet, I make wudu, I wash my feet, and I enter my socks and it's air purity. When does my 24 hours start for me? One opinion says war time. There's a different opinions. You have many people have different answers. The important issue in fiqh, when it comes to fiqh issues, when it comes to community issues related to fiqh and teaching people and calling people, I don't tell them one opinion. Because that one opinion might be hardship for a person, like the guy for 3 months not praying in his job because he understood that you only could wipe over leather socks and he couldn't put his foot in the sink in his job. But they allow him to pray, but he didn't pray. No questions! So that one opinion did not benefit him. That one opinion didn't benefit him. So the Muslim has to understand all views. So one view is that it starts when you wash your feet and you put your socks on for that 24 hours, or for the one who is traveling. So the next day come in and he did not take off his socks for any reasons, because when you take off your socks, then you broke the cycle. So your socks must remain. So I made wudu for Lord. My feet are clean. I put my socks on. The next day come Lord time, not taking off my socks for that remaining time. When Lord comes the next day and my socks were on, then it's time for me to, when I make wudu again, to take off my socks and make wudu for the door salah. It's broken. My wudu is broken. I'm sorry, the wudu for the condition of wiping over the socks, it has broken. The cycle broken at that particular time. So I must wash my feet and enter to my socks in a state of purity. That's one opinion. The second opinion is, which I follow, the second opinion is that it starts, Lord time comes. I make wudu. I enter my socks in a state of tahara. I enter my socks in a state of purification. My socks are on. I pray for whatever goes. I defecate. I pass gas. I broke my wudu around Asr time. Asr time come in. I lost my wudu. So I go refresh my wudu. So when the next day come without me taking off my socks for all that time, didn't take off my socks. When the next day come, Asr time comes, I must rewash my feet. I must make wudu and wash my feet. It's very important that we understand these things. Because if I go, for example, I am a resident, I go for 2 days, wearing my socks and making wudu over it, 2 days, then there's no salat for me because there's no wudu for me. Your wudu is not correct. Because there's no salat with wudu. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam seen a man who made wudu. And when the salat time came, the Prophet seen on the man's foot, on his toe, some dirt. A spot on his foot that was not washed. He told him to go back and remake his wudu and repray his salah. To remake his wudu and to repray his salah. So wudu is very important and connected to the salah. So every Muslim must understand that. You must understand these conditions. While you're young, don't wait till you're old. Don't wait till you're in your 20s to learn. Don't wait till you have a lot of responsibilities and children and people to teach in your house about Islam and practice Islam. Don't be a Muslim who's a Muslim, when it's convenient to him. And remain his whole life ignorant about Islam and only practice Islam when it's convenient for him. Ramadan, It time. When somebody dies, when somebody gets sick, when somebody's ill, or when somebody come into some money. So let's talk about wiping over your socks. Can you wipe over other than your socks? That's the question now. You can raise your hands.
Huh?
Can you wipe over your socks and something else?
Yeah.
Yes, what is it, Salim?
You
What else can you wipe over?
Oh, of course.
Your clothes. We mentioned that. That's very clear already.
Does your hair?
Your sandals. Talk about everything related to the foot right now. Not talking about the hair. Your sandals. Y'all wasn't paying attention before because y'all talk and y'all played too much. Sandals.
Remember you said sandals in the beginning. Not the section. The opposite.
Alright, we're going to end with this part. Now say, for example, I make dhuhr. I pray, I make wudu for dhuhr.
Okay.
I enter my socks pure. I pray dhuhr salat. Alright? I didn't break my wudu. I take off my socks. One of them. Or two of them. Next time you make wudu.
You have to.
Next time you need to make wudu, you have to wash your feet.
Yep, you have to take them off to wash your feet.
Alright? Next time you make wudu,
You took off your socks.
right, because you took off your socks. I'm not saying that you lost your wudu, but the next time you lose your wudu and need to wash, make wudu again, you have to clean your feet. Alright? And this issue about the socks is a very big issue. What I gave to you is concise and small, and that could benefit you related to wiping over your feet. Why this is important? Because wiping over the socks is part of our religion. Wiping over the socks is part of religion. There's many Muslims who will come in here, they will tell you, oh, you cannot wipe over your socks. And this is an opinion they are following. And that's their opinion. But as we say, as Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah, a very famous scholar in the past said, Al-Mukhalid, a blind follower of opinion cannot force his opinion on somebody else because you're a blind follower. It means that you don't know the ins and outs of that ruling. You don't know the ins and outs of that ruling. Alright? So, for example, if you hold a view on something from your madhab you're following or a scholar you're following, you just follow what the scholar tell you, and you see somebody else doing something else different that's from the Quran and Sunnah, and he tells you, you tell him, oh, you cannot do this. This happened in many matches. I go to places. Maghrib is about to come in. The sun has set. The Hanafis do not pray any sunnahs between this time. But I come to the masjid. I pray at Tahiyatul Masjid, greeting the masjid. The sun is down. This is the time that's fitted to pray. It's your phone. Turn off your phone. Is it already off? Turn it off. Don't worry about it. So, because you cut me off and you just distract me. Be quiet. So when the phone goes off, turn it off, please. Because it's got me distracted now. I forgot what we're saying.
About Maghrib when Maghrib comes in.
When Maghrib comes in, this is the forbidden time. So the Hanafis don't pray. And this is a view that is correct. But there is a view that says that you pray at Tahiyatul Masjid at any time of the day. Because the Prophet ﷺ in one hadith said, when you come into the masjid, you pray 2 rakats before you sit down. So some scholars understand that's any time you enter to the masjid, even during the forbidden time. And then some scholars hold the view that is only related to the times that are permissible salat and not forbidden. So there's time people come into the masjid. One person is that particular time, he's praying his sunnah. Another one's not praying his sunnah. He's telling the guy who's praying his sunnah, don't do this. Or he gets mad. Or he gets hit. Or he gets hit. Pay attention. Or he gets mad. I see this many times. People come in the masjid, they arguing and fighting. Hey, it's forbidden to pray this time. Why are you praying your sunnahs this time? And the guy's telling you, this is the view. He's mad. If you're a blind follower means that you don't know all the Islamic ruling on these issues, all the religion. You cannot force your view on somebody else because you yourself is not a scholar in that issue. You're only a blind follower.
Wait,
You understand?
Yes.
So you're going to find people going to tell you, you cannot wipe over your socks. Are you listening?
Yes.
Because I'm telling you something very valid. You're going to find people, you go to different massages you're going to go to. You're going to find people going to tell you, oh brother, don't wipe over your socks. They must be leather socks. That's their view. Their view is not imperative upon you to follow their view. Meaning it's not mandatory that you take this guy's opinion. Alright? So wiping over the socks, whether they leather socks or not, it is permissible in Islam. Okay? It is something that is permissible. You need to understand it. Because wiping over the socks is very important in the life of a Muslim who's going to make wudu and a Muslim who prays 5 times a day.